Don't buy a property in Harare, and I'll tell you reasons why before you start to freak out. I've got a number of reasons why you should not buy a property in Harare.
This problem has been foretold a long time ago. Okay. And we've got to get, as people in Harare, we've got to get used to the fact that if you continue to build on wetlands, if you continue to destroy the wetlands, you're going to destroy this lake. This wetland is holding water over a long period, and it releases the water slowly over a long period, resuscitating this lake. Now, what's happened is our previous administrations have gone and built on wetland and destroyed them. And what we've experienced here at Chivero over the last 10 years especially is what we call flash flooding. So when you have a big storm in Harare, this lake comes up and the water goes over the wall and is gone. And then you're drawing water. So if you have a good wetlands, that wetland normally replenishes the lake over a long period of time. But what you've done is you've built on the wetlands. So we're getting flash flooding. It comes up, it's gone, and then you start again. And then the water drops. So we're getting these high fluctuations every year because of the activities in Harare. That's been foretold. I loved what the gentleman at the back said about green belts. We need to establish those green belts around Chivero. And we put proposals in time and time again to include the farmland around us, to call what we would want to call the Lake Chivero Conservancy. So that way it would purify the water coming from Harare to here. We are 300 meters lower than Harare. And we would love that as a green belt so that it can clean the water. But there's huge land degradation up on Amalinda Farm where people have taken soil. All you need to do is pump the sewage towards those quarries, and you can build natural wetlands that would clean the water naturally for free. But I think we all want to put pumps and treatment plants and this, which creates a huge amount of expense. The land is available there. All you've got to do is pump the wastewater into those old quarries, and then you're going to benefit the lake directly. But
First of all, here are the 3 risks that you are going to face buying a property in Harare. The first risk is cholera, demolitions, and pollutions. Let's deal with cholera. As you know that most of the properties in Harare, or most of the houses that are in Harare, rely on bore water. And all of the Harare water, Chitungwiza, in most of the places have failed the test in terms of being drinkable water. What does this mean? Even though you have bore water, but because of the presence of a septic tank, the septic tank must be at least 50 meters away from the water source. And most of these residential stands that you get, they are either 200 square meters, 300 square meters. They fail to meet the test when it comes to the drinkability of the water. So most of the people, they are drinking contaminated water. And in the end, these are the diseases that people face. Cholera. In some areas, they don't even have refuse collection. They don't have sewage. They are dealing with cholera. So cholera is likely to happen. Number 2, let's look at demolitions. How many houses have been demolished in the past 3-4 years? Because they've been bogus land barons. And most of them, they are ZANU-PF. And some of them, they are even in the opposition. Very sad. And it happens that I have covered a story. You remember the story that we covered last month that happened in Crow Hill, whereby the residents are up in arms because of people that want to demolish their places. So the chances of you getting your house demolished in Harare is very high because of bogus land barons. And sometimes it is very hard or difficult to verify who is who in terms of the property that you are buying for. Then the third thing is pollution. Let's look at the pollution that is happening in our locations. Everywhere, there is no refuse collection. And this failure to have refuse collection means that proper sanitation, pampers are everywhere, the junk is everywhere. If you go to South Lake Park, Shitungbiza, they are dumping sites, but these dumping sites are not healthy. When it rains, you find pampers being swept away by the rain. And that is the same rain that is seeping through our bores and migodi in Harare. So that is a health hazard, ticking time bomb that will end up affecting families if you buy a property in Harare. And I have got a solution. If you are working in Harare, don't buy a property in Harare. Rather buy a house, say the Ingomboshara, Rua, Dema, Chiota, Norton, or in other parts of Nyambira, a little bit outside of Harare. Why buy properties in these areas? The first thing is, number one, the rural land is much cheaper. It's some deals. And in most cases, you just build and you might have 2,000 square meters of land for a fraction of the price that we're going to pay in Harare. And what are you paying in Harare? You're being told the property is expensive in Harare, but what are you buying? You're buying problems. So rather buy a property in Katanga, in Rua, in Ziko, in Dema, in all these places that are in Beatrice, all these places that are surrounding Harare. You get cheaper land. Number two, there is no air pollution. Air pollution, we're talking of pollution of gases, you're talking of people that are cooking everywhere, and there is no order when it comes to like water pollution and all these sewages that are running in all areas. You don't find it in these rural-based lands. And number three, septic tanks are quite safe. If you have imbued a septic tank in a rural area, you are likely to meet the standards that is required by the health standards to say 50 meters away from the water source. You can have that. You can even have a bore that is very, very safe. Water is also safe. And there are no likelihood of demolitions in all these areas. If we rate the way how demolitions have been happening in Harare and the demolitions that have been happening in rural areas that are close to Harare, the chances are next to none. And the biggest advantage that you have in the future is, look at when people were buying properties in Rua in the past 15 to 20 years. Those people that were buying properties in around 2000, some people were thinking, Rua, it's a rural area. But now, Rua properties are now taking not less than $100,000 in terms of property. Here, sometimes we'll be talking of a stand only, or even the property in itself is collecting a lot of money, and the stands are quite big, and the areas there is well serviced. People there are doing proper stuff. So buying a property in all these surrounding areas close to Harare is a good advantage, or even buying a property maybe in Chivu and other areas. They follow proper procedures when it comes to building standards, and that is what you have when you build in Harare. But if you want to take a risk, this is what the mayor of Harare has said about Harare residents. 150,000 informal settlements. Some of these places are not registered. None of the people that are there have title deeds. Yet people are still building. They have invested thousands, millions, if not billions of dollars into these properties that are not regulated, that the council or the city of Harare does not recognize. So you are running a risk in the future of getting your properties demolished, and you lose on your investment that you give made.
Have a sewer reticulation system. Therefore, their discharge is going straight into our water body. This now needs to be regulated, and the stopping needs to be put on irregular settlement. And the challenge we are having is that around the shore of Lake Chivero, there is a growing settlement, informal settlement, and then these are again increasing poaching activities and also polluting the lake, so to speak. These have to be stopped or regulated. In other society, the areas around lakes are dedicated to luxurious resort, water sports, wildlife, and such other qualitative and easily controllable behavior. The shores of Lake Chivero are becoming swallowed by informal settlement, and that has to stop. This put the wildlife in danger, the water body itself in danger, and it also becomes difficult to control it. What is also need to be done is an increase in our regulatory effort. Both the EMA and the City of Harare, we need to fight and clamp down on pollutants in a big way. And to the extent that we also contribute to the pollution, we should make sure that we correct that. So we need to understand the chemicals that are going into the lake, where they are coming from, and the infrastructure that is to be built in our industry, wherein they don't have to discharge their effluent into the river. We also are going to upgrade our chemical regime and modernize it. We have entered into memorandum of understanding to introduce the use of chlorine dioxide as part of our water treatment process, and this chlorine dioxide will help in terms of dealing with the